All right, so how did this all come about? Joining us now is Mayor Matt Harter and Council President Audrey Cotter. Thank you both for being with us today. Mayor, you vetoed the bill, or the budget, and you're sending it back to the City Council, asking them to find $630,000 in cuts. What led to your move today?
Well, again, this budget raises an additional $630,000 in fees. It does not offset the property tax levy by that $630,000. My message has been very clear and very constant and very consistent that if we are going to rely on a fee structure, we do need to offset the property tax levy to accommodate that increase in the fee structure. I have chaired the meetings discussing this budget. I have respectfully adhered to the direction given by the council and met with staff and adhered to their direction. And this is, again, voicing that concern and that message that has constantly and consistently come from the mayor's office that the property tax levy should stay flat in the city. And if we are going to raise additional fees, the property tax levy should be offset by those increases in fees.
Let's talk about that message for a moment, because today your finance chair, Chris Olson, said that he was blindsided by this announcement. Audrey, you said the same thing today. Were you surprised by the veto announcement today?
Yeah, absolutely. We went through 7 significant meetings in relation to developing the budget, in addition to a huge amount of staff time that was put in order to get to where we got. And unfortunately, to focus on the $640,000, there was no focus on the $1.5 million that was cut from the state for support. And you have to look at a budget as a total picture. You can't just take bits and pieces of it and tear it apart on those. You have to look at it as a total process.
Now, Mayor, would you have done things differently today when you hear the reaction from some of your city council members?
Well, again, my message going through the campaign that I was elected to the office in and through the 2.5 years that I've been in office has been very clear, very consistent. I can say it one time, I can say it 100 times, but we have to keep the property tax levy flat in the city of La Crosse. And again, the council has taken a number of maneuvers to move around that direction and that message that I've sent out. And again, I mentioned it to the council president in a meeting last week that I am concerned about the increase in fees without an offset in taxes. So the message has been very clear throughout the course of my campaign, throughout the course of my office. As I said, we have had meetings. I've chaired the meetings and respectfully remained neutral throughout chairing these meetings, and this is no different than any other message that I've sent out.
How do you offset those costs? You had talked about management being overstaffed in the city. You mentioned today the fire department being overstaffed already. Is that how you're going to offset the $630,000 or $40,000?
Well, this does include an increase in 4 departments throughout the city. I think we have a willing and capable city staff of meeting a challenge to reducing our spending and our tax levy by the $630,000 of additional fees. I think we simply need to send that direction and that challenge out to the staff, because I think we will find a very willing, able, and capable staff of meeting those challenges.
How would you see to do that? What would be some of the things you'd cut? Do you know?
Well, through this process, we did have a new process this year where we gave clear direction to the city staff what needs to be cut, a percentage that needs to be cut. The city staff have come together, and they've met that this year, and I think carrying out that same process to eliminate the $630,000, discuss what priorities are in the city. I have offset hiring in a number of departments, which would have accounted for reduction in spending. That has been, again, maneuvered around. The council has passed a new process.
Audrey, you says that there has been cuts.
There certainly have been cuts in order to be able to balance the budget with the reductions that we've had to face. But to say that the staff needs to be reduced, if the staff needs to be reduced, it needs to be done in a systematic way, and it needs to be done in a way that we evaluate the positions, not the individuals that are involved, and whether they are needed or not.
I wanted to ask about that because the mayor said one of the ways to offset, you said today, was through attrition. Is that going to work?
No, absolutely not, and it hasn't worked. Our city planning department has been short 2 to 3 staff people for, well, at least a year, and we have not been writing grants. And so we have lost out on significant opportunities for income. And the other, since I have the mic, I'd just like to say that I think also that there is more to the quality of life in the city of La Crosse than taxes. I was talking to somebody since the meeting this morning who said to me, I can't believe the value that we get for our taxes that we pay in La Crosse. I didn't solicit that comment. It was made. And then that person individually said, I like the clean streets and the way of leaf sweepers. I like this, or the clean streets to sweep the streets. I like the leaves being picked up. I like the quality of life, that we have sidewalks. And that person, who I didn't even know before today, came up to me and said that.
Mayor, there was discussion today, and I know we asked you earlier today, the City Council proposed bringing in a city administrator, adding a position. It would take some of your responsibilities away from your job. Was your veto today in response to that proposal?
As I stated in the past, I don't think that the City of La Crosse is best served by adding another position in the form of a city administrator. Again, the clear veto message coming out in response to this budget being passed is this budget raises an additional $630,000 in fees. It does not reduce the property tax levy to offset that increase in fees. That is the reason for this veto. And as I've stated in the past, I am opposed to hiring another management position in the city where I feel that we are overly excessive in management positions currently.
Okay. If the finance chair, Chris Olson, also said that the attrition wouldn't work. You heard your council president say that. Do you think it will? And if it doesn't, where else were we going to find the savings?
Well, currently we're hiring and we're filling positions. If we are going to eliminate positions, I think they should be targeted through attrition. If we continue to hire people, which we are today, against my will, against actions I've taken to prohibit that hiring, and the council does determine in the end that positions do need to be eliminated, well, then we will be laying off employees of the city instead of eliminating those positions through attrition.
Okay, we're almost out of time, but the city council has set a meeting tomorrow at 4 o'clock to override this veto. Do you have the votes to do it?
I haven't had time to poll, and I shouldn't anyway. So, but my sense is that being as how it was approved 15-2, that there's a very strong likelihood that it will be overridden.
Are you afraid it's going to be overridden, Mayor?
Well, I'd simply like my message to go out very clear that I am opposed to raising an additional $630,000 in fees without offsetting the property tax levy by that amount, and that is my purpose for sending this veto message out. Any action the council takes contrary to that will be their own responsibility.
We're out of time. I'm sorry, guys. Thank you so much for coming on. I think it's important that people hear directly from you on this. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you.